It is the end of the week. Time to wrap up Psalm 9 and prepare for Psalm 25 next week. So as we've been looking at Psalm 9, it's been going back and forth, hasn't it? Between prayer and then reflection on that, focusing on the oppressed, but then the enemies who are oppressing. So keep those in mind as we wrap up verses 17 through 20. The wicked shall return to Sheol, all the nations that forgot God. For the needy shall not be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. Selah. Great ending to this psalm. I have to admit that when I started this, I kind of picked this psalm just for the length and because I didn't know much about it. And as I started at the beginning of the week, I was wondering, where in the world is this psalm going to go? But it's really been pretty clear, hasn't it? The differences between the oppressed and the oppressors, those of God and those oppressed, those who are oppressing the people of God. He begins this one as a reflection, continuing the reflection from verses 16. We see in the first one kind of an effect and cause, not cause and effect. We see the effect, and then we get the cause. The effect is the wicked shall return to Sheol, to the grave. And then the cause of that is all the nations that forgot God. See, the wicked are wicked because they don't know the Lord, because they have forgotten him. In that way, even God's chosen people could be considered wicked at times because they turned their back on the Lord. They forgot the Lord and his promises to them. Verse 18 is parallel, and it shows the hope of the oppressed. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Now, as we look at these, especially in this context, this is one of those times that it gives us a call as the church to respond to those who are oppressed, to those who are in need, the needy and the poor, to help them in their time. But they shall not always be forgotten. They shall not perish forever. The Lord is remembering them. Verses 19 and 20 is a prayer. Really, it's parallel. 4 lines of parallel as it is a request against them. Let them not get away with what they're doing. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail, the first one. Let the nations be judged before you, how they're not going to prevail. Put them in fear, O Lord, the third one. Let the nations know that they are but men. I love that ending line. And that should really be a prayer for us. Let us know that we are but men. You are the powerful God. We are but man. We trust in you. We rely on you. We are not as great as we think we are. The attributes that we look at this, again, is the attribute of God's power to judge those who are evil, but yet his reminder of his love for the poor, for those who are oppressed. He remembers. He doesn't forget us. The psalm as a whole is a prayer often against the wicked nations. It's also a prayer for the oppressed, those who are oppressed by evil, and a reminder of David to himself and David to us, that those who are oppressing us are but men, that God is in control, and he will, at the end, deliver us. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already by clicking on the peace symbol at the very end here. And also a reminder to join us next week as we look at Psalm 25. Go in peace now and serve the Lord always.